I want to just give you a 3-letter word, Tom.
Yes.
War! 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 War!
That's treason. We are at war, Anakin.
War!
Begun. The cold prepares.
War! War! War!
It's unthinkable. There hasn't been a full-scale war since the formation of the Republic. A communications disruption can mean only one thing: invasion. Negotiation. We've lost all communications. What is your suggestion, Master Jedi?
Master Yoda. I think it will really go.
Jurassic is number 1. Remember that. Crush you like a bug.
They go a bit Trumpy, don't they? And they declare that they're heroes, on both sides.
Yeah, what did he say? There are good people on both sides.
Very fine people on both sides.
Good people on both sides.
But you also had troublemakers, and you see them come with the black outfits and with the helmets and with the baseball bats.
But there aren't, are there?
No.
Let's just be clear about that.
No.
Because there's villains on both sides. There's heroes on one side.
Yeah.
That's the facts of the situation. It is a sign that this whole Trade Federation versus the Senate kind of war has got so complicated and boring that at the start of the entire film, our two heroes begin by rescuing a guy that we all know is the bad guy.
Yes.
And I'm not entirely sure who's kidnapped him or why they want him back.
But
Yes.
we start off with, I remember at the time when this came out, it is just this amazing space battle. And I remember going to watch it for the first time and just sitting there going, but it just looks like a computer game. Like there's no exciting elements.
Do you want a vision of hell, John, by the way?
Oh, go on.
The first cut of this film was nearly 4 hours long. And the opening space battle and Palpatine rescue sequence ran to over an hour.
My God.
Is this the movie?
This is the movie. This is the final movie.
But it also feels a bit like watching someone play with Lego while you're in a running tumble dryer.
Completely.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Like the speeder bike scene in the forest is really fast and frantic, but it feels like, you're on the bike.
Yeah. Yeah. So we get our first bit of comedy, because I feel like in this one, George has thought, well, a lot of people said in the last one that it was too boring, so I'm going to put some gags in here. So we
Hilarious gags,
Obi-Wan going, oh, this is going to be easy.
Oh, I see it. Oh, this is going to be easy.
Oh, God. Straight in with the well, that just happened comedy, It's really just not his strength, is it? This is why you need your not Irving Kershner. This is why you need your Lawrence Kasdan.
And your Tom Stoppard. I think Tom Stoppard does write a scene in this, though.
Did he? Tom Stoppard wrote a scene in this?
Yeah, I think he wrote the Blob Opera scene with the... Have you heard the tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
That explains a lot, because that is one of the best scenes in the entire film. So that does make a lot of sense out of that. That's part of one of my big hot takes that I've got for discussing later in the film.
Can't wait to get to the Blob Opera. Yeah. We get this annoying little... Because I think George is ticking off. He's gone. We've got a great little space sequence. We've got some visual effects.
Yep.
Let's have some peril with these buzz droids. And
buzz droids come
God,
around.
they're so annoying.
I've got a R2 robot being scalped completely instantaneously. It's horrifying. Great.
But let's skip all that because it's boring. So they get on the ship. We're introduced to General Grievous, who's got
a
COVID.
robot. A robot who manages to both have a cough and be European.
Just as Count Dooku predicted.
Apparently, this was supposed to be Gary Oldman's voice.
Right. Okay. And would that have made it any better?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No. The character is incredibly ill-defined. But apparently Gary Oldman was going to do it. He'd recorded some, and then he found out that because Lucas doesn't work with the unions...
He
was like, I don't want to be a scab, so I'm not going to do it. He went off and made Tiptoes instead.
Perfect. Thank goodness. And, the world might have not have been gifted that if he had have stuck...
I think you're going to let me know that everyone in your family's a midget.
You won't believe this, but my autocorrect corrected it to General Gervais.
Well, actually not a bad premise.
Let's talk about General Grievous then, because as we talked about earlier, we need a villain. Oh God, we killed the one in the first one, so we'll make a new one. Mm-hmm. I mean,
he's a robot. He's a robot, but he also appears to have an organic, fleshy eye and a heart.
Yeah, and apparently the reason he's all coughing and wheezy is that in the cartoon of Clone Wars, Mace Windu crushes his chest. The
main beef people had was they said General Grievous in the cartoons is brilliant. Yeah. And he was just totally nothing in Revenge of the Sith. And people have been quite excited, like, we get to see him turn up in the main continuity. And I'd say they're right, there's absolutely nothing about him except that he's, coughing a lot and that he's a robot. Yeah. Like you. Are you General Grievous?
I am General Grievous.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I mean, he looks fun. Because I remember there's one thing George Lucas was very good at. When these films were being made, he used to do little web episodes of the making of. There was one called like Designing General Grievous, or General Grievous, sorry, I keep calling him Grievous. And I remember them having like a little competition within Lucasfilm about let's design what he's going to look like. And one of them finding inspiration from I think it was the cap of a bottle for his face.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone being like, yay, well done, you've designed this really exciting evil guy. And I remember thinking, oh, there's a new baddie, that'll be fun. It's not.
He's got one moment, which is when Lucas pulls his, the Prestige, which is you started the prequel trilogy with a two lightsaber, a double-ended lightsaber character. And then you get the big twist, which is, what if 4 lightsabers?
Gave himself the day off after writing that.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm going down to the pool. 4 lightsabers. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. Also, Hayden Christensen's hair in this film looks like every boy at my school when I was 15 in the year 2003.
Yeah. I mean,
including me. I'm not gonna try and set myself apart from all those other sort of greasy kids.
And he's also got a scar.
Yes, he does. It's very edgy. It's very sexy.
Very sexy.
I think it's too much.
The thing about Hayden Christensen in this all the way through is that he looks good. Do you know what I mean? He sometimes looks the part, and then he speaks and moves, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, his scowling face, like all of the sort of the promo material, and I think sort of things like trailers and webisodes, they really foregrounded that, him with the yellow Sith eyes, scowling from under the cloak. I don't know. I feel like, do you know, the thought that occurred to me early on, and I just couldn't shake it, was like, of course, he came in for a lot of kicking over these 2 films. It's not fair. And he clearly is a good actor in the right role, know. And this is... Well, I've got another theory about Star Wars, which is that the casting process should literally just be being in an empty room and presented with a tennis ball. Yeah. And being told, act like this is a scary villain. Yeah. Now act like it's the person you love most in the world. Yeah. Now act like it's a ship full of loads of innocent women and children being destroyed. Because that's the whole job, is... act like something's really mortally important to you when there's nothing in the room with you.
I mean, I always think of the bit from the making of The Hobbit where Ian McKellen's doing that scene to nothing.
Yeah,
right.
This?
And he breaks down and starts crying.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's horrible.
I thought that story might end differently.
No, he's so like going, so, hobbits, what we need to do is... Then he goes... And they're like, you're right. And he goes, I can't do this. There's no one here.
Work like this. Oh, yeah, the thought that I had that I couldn't shake throughout it. Because obviously, yes, Hayden Christensen's come in for a lot of kicking. Yeah. More than he deserves. Yeah. And also, like, it's a horribly difficult challenge. However, the thought occurred to me, what if, like, James McAvoy had been playing Anakin Skywalker or someone like that? And I couldn't help but think... it just would have been better.
No, I think you're 100% right.
But I just think if you'd cast somebody with that natural, I don't know, darkness under the surface,
to your point, they did that with Adam Driver in the new ones, and he knocked it out of the park, didn't he?
He's a perfect model for what they could have done, I think, and it's a bit of a shame looking back.
Because that was my biggest takeaway from The Force Awakens. I just thought, I wish Anakin would have been like that.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan and Anakin go on the ship. They go in a lift and slice up some robots. The robots still proving to be utterly
completely useless.
Shit.
It is like you are just seeing this slightly the emotionless mowing down of battle droids commences almost immediately, and you go, this again,
yeah. And then they walk into a room, and there's Count Dooku.
Ducula. Yes.
Sadly, between the events of the last film and this one, Nanny died.
Yeah, no.
Her last
the
words
funeral
were,
scene actually rivaled.
Ducky poo.
Ducky poo.
He has Palpatine as prisoner. That's what we're here to rescue Palpatine, even though, as you say,
for some reason,
us as an audience know he is evil.
Yeah.
Also, I like the overconfident line from Obi-Wan when Palpatine goes, "Careful, he's a Sith Lord," and Obi-Wan goes, "Chancellor, Sith Lords are our speciality." And I'm like, well, in the last film, he kicked your ass within a second, and guess what? He does it again.
Yeah. Yes.
Splayed on the floor, and then Dooku drops an entire metal gangway onto his thighs.
He should have been in a wheelchair for the rest of this film.
That's what I've just written. Yeah, he'll never walk again.
There is no way. You see where it hits him, and you go, "Those legs are flattened."
If you were Lucas, you'd be like,
crushed.
"What have you done? Why have you done that? Just have it fall next to him, or like bump him on the head or something." You've just literally landed it on his spine.
Yeah, here's an idea. I don't know, bookshelf or a chair rather than an entire metal walkway that looks like it weighs about 4,000 tons.
Because it collapses and then just lands on his legs and then sort of moves a bit more, like it squashes him.
Like it's grinding them into the floor.
Unbelievable. I don't know what they were thinking there. And then Anakin manages to win the day over Dooku.
Yeah.
And then Palpatine goes, "Cut his head off. Go on.
Cut his bloody head off.
Go on, cut. It'll be funny. Hang on, I'll get my phone." But Anakin, obviously swayed by the influence Palpatine has over him, does indeed chop his head off and then goes, "I shouldn't have done that."
Yeah, and before that, he looks troubled. And I think Hayden Christensen acting, troubled with a dilemma is exactly the same performance as the GIF woman trying to work out a big sum.
Yes, but he was an unarmed prisoner. I shouldn't have done that. It's not the Jedi way.
If a spaceship has artificial gravity and it's damaged or like splits in half and turns upside down in space, why would they build it so that if the ship tips up, the artificial gravity goes the wrong way?
That's a very good point. But you do get
Strange
the
choices.
exciting moments of R2-D2 nearly falling out the bottom. Because obviously R2-D2, we don't see him in the next film. Oh, yeah, we do. Anyway, so they as you say, that they're piloting the ship, which is going to crash. And they crash land it on Coruscant.
Yep.
Another happy landing.
Yeah, all right, yeah. That's nice
and his hair looks good. For the first time in all three, he's got good hair.
Yeah, the hair and beard combo are the best here, I think. I think that's the basis of why a lot of people say this is the best of the three.
Yeah. You had Oscars flashing in your eyes because Anakin reunites with Padme.
That's right, and it's the most wonderful romantic scene in the world.
Yeah.
Padme's got her Leia buns, which I did enjoy.
Yeah.
Nice to see that. There's a bit where Anakin says, "I don't care if they know we're married." And she says, "Don't say things like that."
Yeah.
And it did sort of read as, "I don't want anyone to know I got off with you. No, I'm not ashamed of you, but just don't tell anyone it happened."
Absolutely. But she's got great news for him.
Yeah.
She's pregnant.
Oh, no. Yay! I want to do an edit of Padme saying that and then Anakin leaping like into a speeder and then off to a spaceship, and a spaceship takes off, gets onto a bigger ship and then takes it through a wormhole.
Ah, amazing. Yeah.
Into hyperdrive. I'd like to do that.
And then ends up on the beach crying.
Yeah. And then cut to him in the lava at the end, still there being melted.
Going, "I hate you!
I hate you!"
Meanwhile, Grievous goes home and has a Zoom meeting with Sidious.
That's right.
Who says, it's bad that Dooku's dead, isn't it? And Sidious says, no.
Sidious says, "What? You're on mute. Unmute yourself." What?
What-o the fucko?
What? What-o the fucko? I can't hear you. I think you're on mute.
There, that's better.
Yeah, that's better. Oh, now your camera's gone off. Oh, now you've got a cat filter on. Grievous, just...
Yeah, so Dooku, he says, "Don't worry that Dooku's dead because I'll soon have a more powerful apprentice."
Yeah. Who could he mean?
I don't know.
Is it Bachelor number one? Bachelor number one, if you were a colour of space titty milk, what colour of space titty milk would you be?
Well, I think I'd probably be blue because I think blue is how I like to tell me jokes.
Yeah, oh.
And I like my videos.
Oh, I think I would be green because the sight of you makes me sick. Not as romantic as the last one.
I'd be red because I've got horrible disease coming out of my cock.
Okay, well, that's the end now. Our Graham's going to just take us to the credits now.
Oh, Graham's dead. Padme's combing her hair, or
like
brushing her hair.
do,
yeah. And he goes, "You're so beautiful."
Yeah.
And she goes, "I'm so beautiful." She goes, "It's because I'm so in love." And he goes, "No, it's because I'm in love with you." And she goes, "So love has blinded you?"
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, there's rubbish.
Yeah, so they're talking about that, and then as you say, they go to bed, and then Anakin has another sort of sex dream.
Yeah.
The way he's playing it, he has visions of Padme dying in childbirth, or, I mean, the way it's close on her face like that, she could have been getting like in a horrible gangbang. That could have been a sexy dream.
Sure.
But no,
could have been, yeah.
Yeah,
her face is racked with something. That's all we know.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So he tells Padme, "I just had a dream that you die in childbirth," and she goes, "What of the child?" And he goes, "Well, I don't know."
Didn't see that bit.
And then she goes, "It's only a dream." And he goes, "Yeah, it's only a dream."
Anyway, get your shoes on. We're going down the clinic.
Yeah. Yeah. To see Gynecologo.
Gynecologo.
And he's of the same ape creature.
He's of the same race as Dexter Jetster.
Oh,
He's like, okay, let's get the fucking kid out of your belly.
Depends on the size of your minge.
Womb.
Womb. Yeah, better than minge.
Yeah. Minge. God.
So he goes to see Yoda about it. And Yoda says to him that death is natural, and we should rejoice in those who have become one with the Force. So is the Force like a kind of compost?
Yeah, the Force is ultimately it's the sort of cycle of life, isn't it? So it's like you die, you become one with the Force, i.e. we bury you and then you help some plants to grow.
That's true.
It's a lot. I mean, that's about as interesting as midichlorians.
Oh, yeah, he mentions the midichlorians.
They come back. It's like, no.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
Stop trying to make midichlorians happen.
Because it just makes me think of swimming pools.
Yeah, chlorine. Yeah,
that's all I can think of.
So if you have a wee in a pool, does that mean that it comes out all midichlorians?
Yeah, when you wee, you suddenly start hearing... and then everyone points at you and goes,
look,
But ultimately, Yoda's message to Anakin is, hey, chill out.
Everyone dies. Get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chill the F out. If she dies, she dies.
Have a bang on this and chill right out. My friend C.O. Bibble sorted me out with some really absolutely preem ganj. So
I am disgusted he's not in this.
Yeah, shocking. I was really angry.
Edited out of Revenge of the Sith. So Obi-Wan tells Anakin the Senate are going to give Palpatine more power. Palpatine says to Anakin, look, I want you to be on the Jedi Council as my own representative. So he says, go and see them. So he goes to see the council, and the council goes, okay, well, this is quite out of the ordinary, but we'll have you on the council, but we're not going to make you a master.
This is totally out of order. It's very compromising. We don't like it at all, so we're going to do it. That's fine.
To prove their point about him being irrational and full of anger, he gets irrational and angry.
How dare you? Yeah, exactly.
And then they tell him to sit down.
So all these psychics around in the room, and nobody can tell that Anakin's getting laid.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Think about how loudly Anakin's thinking about it.
Yeah. Whacking off, always you are.
Yeah, that's right. All we're seeing is wank after wank. We're seeing you making love to Amidala. We're also seeing you making love to Yaddle and that woman with the red ponytail that wasn't really in the first film.
You mean the important bounty hunter one?
The really important character who's going to come back and the payoff's going to be sensational.
Yeah. Oh, so as they leave the meeting, Obi-Wan says, look, be patient, Anakin. No one your age has ever got on the council.
Yeah.
So the reason you're not a master is literally just because you're best pals with someone they suspect.
Yeah.
So why don't you be a bit of a spy for us?
Now, so many of the plots in this film focus on like appointments, jobs, politics, justice, a sort of Senate system of decision making.
Yeah.
When Mace Windu says, I don't trust him, I like that because it just feels like he's a good actor, but also it's a moment of actual, genuine, relatable emotion.
Yeah, Obi-Wan goes, but what about the prophecy, The one who's supposed to bring balance to the Force?
Yeah.
And then Yoda goes, maybe we read it wrong. You are a master Jedi. Why are you only saying this now? Why didn't you say that, say, 10 years ago?
Padme, in a moment, she's talking to Anakin and she says, have you ever thought we're on the wrong side?
Yes.
And on the
Which
one
is
point,
weird, isn't
on the
it?
one hand, it's a good point because the Republic is becoming the Empire. But then I go, yeah, you're right. We should go and be on the sides of the robots and the Chinese guys. What's the
What are you talking
alternative?
about?
Like, I don't. Like,
you know what she's saying, but the way it's written doesn't make any sense. She should be saying,
and in
do you ever
context-
think that the cause we're fighting for is now in the wrong direction or something?
Completely.
Yeah. I just keep thinking when I'm watching this film, the one driving force for Anakin in this is Padme, right?
Yeah.
So the thing that makes him turn should be her getting murdered and made it look like the Jedis had done it.
100%.
Yeah.
And we'll get to it, but there's a few ways they could have played it,
Yeah.
and this is definitely the most unclear sort of one. Everything he does, all the sort of murders he commits, he kills like a room full of children himself, just slaughters them in cold blood.
Yeah. You want to save the life of your children by murdering some children.
The trolley problem for Anakin Skywalker is no trouble at all. It's like, okay, pull the handle. No, listen. So your wife's on one track, and there's 4,000 children on the other track, and I pull the handle. No. Wait. There's more to it. No, I don't think so. Pull the handle.
I actually hurt my arm how hard I pulled that handle.